You are listening to the Beyond the High Road podcast with Shelby Milford, episode number 91. Stay tuned. Well, hello, everybody. How are we doing today? I've got one light bulb that is like flickering, right now. So we'll see. It's a little bit distracting, but... So first quick announcements, because I always forget or often forget, is that Friday, Facebook Live, as usual, noon Eastern time. And then also just a reminder too, I would love it if you guys, if you're finding these episodes useful and that you're finding some relief out of them, if you would write a review on Apple. There are a bunch of you listening, and I think we right now at this point have 30 reviews, which, by the way, I'm so grateful for. Some of you have written 2 and 3 reviews, which I am so, so grateful for your input. And yeah, but 30 reviews, and there's like hundreds of you guys that are listening. So I would love it if you're thinking to yourself, oh, it won't really make a difference if I write one. It will. I'm telling you, it will make a difference. So the more people that we have review, the more attention that the show gets. And the more attention the show gets, the more parents like us find relief just like you are. Okay? So in return, you guys, the more followers, parents like us that are listening to this show, the more that I can justify hiring out and doing all the production and stuff, justification to pay somebody to do that work so I have time to work on this. I spend so much time on to put this out for you as a free resource for you every week. So please, pretty please, with sugar on top. I would love it. So thank you in advance for that. And then that's it. I think we just get on to the episode. Today, we're going to be talking about sort of piggybacking off of last week's episode. I was thinking about how in the beginning of last week's episode, I was sharing with you guys about feeling powerless, about being in a prolonged state of freeze or functional freeze. We were talking about the symptoms that you might be having as a result of being in that place, maybe since the alienation began, maybe for your entire life or since you were a young child. You have always sort of jumped straight over to survival mode, where you are just going through the motions, sort of detached from yourself and maybe a bit numb or feeling distant from yourself. Things just don't seem right or like that there's any purpose or meaning. I was also talking about how, for me, when I started this healing process, as far as like when I got the bulk of my mental work done, right? Mental, emotional work done, was when I shifted from looking at outside of me and looking at my childhood and what happened and trying to explain why I am the way I am, and moved over to what I can do and what was in my power today and moving forward. That's when so much of my work really, really started to become apparent to me. I started to see a lot more results. So today I kind of want to talk about that. And maybe just where your head's at, like if you feel like you're stuck in that place where you don't feel like you have much purpose except for sort of existing, getting by, getting through this and to the other side, that mindset is going to keep you in the place where you want to get out of. It's going to keep you in that freeze mode, because the purpose, your purpose when you get up each morning, is to just get through this. And so what are we focusing on? This. Instead of activating your creative centers and your innovation, your ingenuity, and all of that, looking forward to actually creating purpose for yourself, you can be, without even realizing you're doing this, stuck in how you're surviving, right? And it can feel frustrating because when you're in that place, you think that that's the only option you have. It's difficult from that lead-footed, lead-head, lead-body place to create a new pattern for yourself, because it's like all the energy you feel like is being sucked up into actually just getting out of bed each morning and going and taking a shower. It just all feels like so much. And so trying to create a new pattern or a new anything for yourself feels like a pipe dream. Like, I just need to exist. I just need to get by, just need to get through today. I just need to get through this court case, like this next hearing coming up for me, and then I'll worry about all that stuff later. But in order to feel better, we have to have purpose and we have to change what we're doing. We have to change our patterns. In order to change our patterns, we have to have energy, or we think we have to have energy. And so we're stuck in sort of damned if we do, damned if we don't, like place of stagnancy and action, because we're always waiting for the right time or something to give us this push, the right opportunity to show up, the motivation, the sign, the whatever that is supposed to come in front of you. And once you get that sign, once you get the motivation, once you get the energy, once you get through the next court case, then you can start to do whatever, and then things will be okay. But here's the thing, is that there never really is that and then. Not until you take the step, make the choice and commit to the discomfort of the unknown. That's the pisser about it, is that you think you need energy, you think you need the opportunity, the resources, the time, the this, the that, in order to create something new. But that is exactly what's holding you back. There's nothing else holding you back except for your brain, is what I'm saying. And so in order to get out of it, in order to get out of your stuckness, you have to push through the discomfort of being tired, the discomfort of not knowing if it's the right opportunity, of not having all the answers for what you're getting ready to do. You have to be willing to go do the inspecting, the foraging, the exploring into what might be next for you. You have to be the one that takes that first step. And it is never going to be the right time, and it's never going to feel like how you might think it should. It's going to feel clunky and awkward. You just have to take one step and then take another step and take another step. We tell ourselves that things will be better up there. I just need to get through this next blah, blah, blah. But the problem is that thinking. It's not what you have to get through. It's the way that you're thinking about what you have to get through. And really, the problem is thinking that you just have to get through it anyway. If you're waking up every morning and you're thinking, I just need to get through today, I just need to survive, you're going to have a low quality view of your whole experience. Before you open your eyes, you're like, I just got to get through today. How do you think you're going to show up for your world? You're literally putting yourself in survival mode from the second that you open your eyes. You know, I just have to get through it. As if you weren't going to get through it. So your brain already, you set the tone for yourself. So I guess I just want to urge you to, if you're like in that place where you're still feeling a little numb, you're in that little bit scared, apprehensive place where you're not sure how to make a move, right? I just want to sort of nudge you from your place of stagnancy to just make a move, to make any move. It doesn't matter what right now, as long as you commit to changing the stagnancy. You don't have to, I'm not asking you to change yourself unless that's what you want to do, but change your current view. Maybe you have tried a couple of things and then you've become your worst enemy. And so now you're sort of heckling yourself. And you're like, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Maybe not all of you is like this, but the part of you that's keeping you from doing the things, which is your subconscious, which is the part that runs you, is sort of heckling you and telling you that's not going to work. Why are you even going to try that? Have you thought about blah, blah, blah? How are you going to pay your bills if you do that? So if you do go and commit yourself to creating this new life for yourself, are you shutting out the possibility of accepting your kid back into your life again? You know, all of these negative Nancy sort of thoughts and doubts come up for you. And I'm sure you've heard me say before that if we want to create something new for ourselves, we have to think entirely new thoughts. We have to consider entirely new things. And what that means is we have to dip our toe out in the unknown. But it's scary. It's scary as fuck. And so it's sort of like this conundrum that we get stuck in, because When we're feeling entirely stuck, we're usually feeling victimized. We're feeling at the effect of whoever is on the quote unquote other side of things, who is blocking us, or at the effect of maybe our inability to make ends meet, get the bills paid, complete all the requirements that the court is maybe asking of you. Maybe you feel like you're waiting on, depending on somebody else to do their job or play their part, and they're not. And so then you feel like you can't do anything in the meantime. And that's what I think when we're in the stuck place, we're focusing on all the things that we can't do. So then we can never really get to doing anything new. And your brain is going to, if you feel like you're stuck, your brain is going to find all of the information to help you, to support you in you being stuck. And so you sort of create this whole reality for yourself. But if you were asking yourself questions about how you're not stuck, how you could create a new life for yourself, and you dared to hear yourself, to listen and to try those things, you might find that you could create something different. But it's not always that easy. It feels scary. It feels silly, like, who's going to judge me? Maybe that won't work. If I do it, then my kid is going to think that I don't love them and that I am abandoning them and going on with my life without them. This is a huge one for a lot of us parents, right? That if I create this new life for myself, what will my kid think? Will they think I'm just out there having the time of my life and I'm just don't have any room, any space in my life for them? And that is actually, I think, the farthest thing from the truth. In fact, I think the opposite is true. When you create or rebuild, construct your foundation, and then the life for yourself after that, you are creating space for them to thrive with you. I'm thinking right now, I'm picturing like a garden, right? And if your garden is all beat, run down, old dirt and stuff, it's hard to accept new plants without creating a healthy place for them to thrive. I know it's kind of a cheesy comparison, but it's just what came to my mind when I was saying it. But when you take everything out, replenish the soil, add in all the nutrients, your fertilizers, all the things, and till the soil, and then start planting new, then you've got this thriving garden, and then you can add whatever you want new, expand, do all the things. But starting from the not so solid foundation and keeping your life the same, you're not able to really accept anything new into your life. You don't have the space for your children because nothing is thriving at all. What I'm saying is you have to start thinking new, and you have to face the fear of the unknown. It's never going to be the right time. You're never going to get the perfect sign, the perfect opportunity, the right anything. What the right thing is you just deciding to commit to something new. And that's the thing. If you're feeling stuck, when you're feeling stuck, it's because you're on the defensive, right? You're telling yourself that you just need to make it through today, that you just need to make it through this week, through the next court hearing, through whatever. You just need to get your bills paid this month, and then you can think about yourself, or then you can whatever. But when you're waking up each morning and you're telling yourself, I just need to get through it, I just need to get through it, guess what? You immediately put your brain into survival mode for the day. You're on defensive. Playing defense, as you guys know, even in court cases, if you've been through court, is not the way to get you to somewhere new. When you're playing defense, you're only getting yourself back up to like status quo, I guess. When you're on defense, you're playing to get yourself back to baseline, your norm, what you've already created. And if you want to create something new, then you've got to play offense in your own world, in your own mind. You have to be the creator, the originator of your moves going forward. In order to get unstuck, you have to get off of defensive, get off of just surviving, get out of that mindset, and task your brain to be the creator and to be the originator, the instigator, if you will. That kind of goes to like a negative connotation, but you are the one that's creating your life moving forward. And the way that you do that is by not waiting for the perfect opportunity, not waiting for the signs, not pondering your options, not just getting through this and you'll deal with it then. You have to task your mind, give it purpose each morning. The purpose of just getting through this, of just getting the bills paid or just making it past this, whatever is coming up, is going to keep you always under the thumb of whatever that thing is. You have to give your mind something to do. And when you do, it will go to work for you. So many of us stay stagnant because we're scared of what might happen if we start on the path to following our dreams, our desires, the possibilities in our mind. What if? If you're listening to the fear of what if, I just want to urge you to think about what if you don't do it? What if you decide to stay right here where you're at for another day? What if the discomfort of today perpetuates itself by not making a move towards your future because you're too busy waiting for the right time, because you're too busy worrying about how somebody's going to judge you, because you're too busy worrying about what the alienating parent or whoever is going to react to whatever you do, how they're going to cut you off. Like your fears about the unknown and about the future, they're fears, they're valid, but consider what life might be like if you continued to listen to those fears and not act. The discomfort that you are in today will also perpetuate. And are you willing to look back on your life and see that you didn't make the moves that you could have made? Guaranteed, if you're feeling stuck, you're not happy with where you're currently at. But we don't consider that by taking the steps to do something different, we're also moving out from where we're at and we're getting to somewhere new. It's discomfort either way. It's the discomfort of no change at all and being in a place of stagnation, or it's the discomfort of trying something new and not knowing what's going to happen as a result. But at least in trying something new, we're becoming somebody different because we're building a new relationship with ourselves and we're becoming the person that would do the things that would get us to the place we want to be to. Does that make sense? I know it sounds very abstract, but I think hopefully if you're following along, then you understand that it's so worth it to face these fears, because in the end, we're going to be feeling weird and awkward and blah, either way. But one way, you just stay in the same shit over and over and over again. The other way, you create something new every time that you try to do something new, right? And even if you don't get the goal, if you quote unquote fail, so what? Because you're already somewhere different. You're a different person as a result of making the attempts to do something different. This is how we get out of that free state, by the way. When we're in the free state, our body, our mind is so used to looking for all the signs of danger, right? This could cut us off. This could cut us off. Oh, what about that danger? We're not in an action place. We're in freeze. The second that you put your body in motion and just start asking yourself questions about how you could get in motion, you move from your free state. That's the thing. To get out of freeze, you must move your body and your mind some way different than you already have. It sounds so simple when I'm saying it and like, duh. But I think that when we're in it, it feels like we're so backed into a corner, we feel like we can't make any moves. But really, all you need to do is just like I was saying last week, just do a dance party. Just shake your body, right? Balance on one foot, balance on the other, right? Repeat it 3 times. You'll notice that you already start to feel different and you bring yourself a different energy into your own space, into your internal space. And then from there, you start to consider different opportunities, different perspectives for yourself. Hang your head off your bed, start looking at your world upside down. You will find a different perspective, literally. You shake things up internally, and you're able to then immediately afterwards, you can start to focus on what it is that you want to create for yourself moving forward, like in your actual life. Not just inside of you, you know? But you have to get into action instead of just thinking about all the ways that that action might fuck you, right? Or the way that other people might cut you off, screw you. You have to commit to yourself, commit to your journey of change, of healing, of growth, right? Here's the thing, is that sitting on the couch or staying in that free state It's miserable. It's so uncomfortable. It feels all consuming. 100% feels all consuming. I was there. I feel you. But now that you know, if you listen to last week's episode and you're listening now, then you've confronted this place, your stuckness, right? And now you can start to take those steps out. You have to commit to taking the steps though, because sitting on your couch and hiding isn't going to give you the peace that you desire. What is going to give you peace is you becoming the person that has your own back and that does things even in the face of fear, even in the face of failure, even in the face of judgment, rejection. Peace comes from you having your own back and doing the hard things. You can do difficult things. And you, especially coming from what we've come through, you guys, you can kick hard things ass. You can do all the hard things. You are capable of so much more than you might be giving yourself credit for. If you're in that stuck place and you feel like you just don't know where to start, or you're waiting for the right time, you don't know if you have the capability, the money, the this, the that, whatever, literally just make the decision to ask yourself better questions and take a step forward into something that you've never done before. Whatever that is. The other day, I was messaging a girl back and forth about that she wanted to tackle court reform, educate the public on this, right? Especially in opposition to One Mom's Battle and how the courts, she's basically taking over the courts and turning Caden's Law into this whole big circus, right? And so she wants to educate the public to correct what One Mom's Battle has basically laid the groundwork for. And so when I asked her, how does she want to get her information out? Like, what is going to be her medium, if you will? Like, is she going to do videos? Is she going to do a blog? Is she going to whatever? She said, well, I want to do videos and I have one. She said, but my idea is to get out on people's podcasts and talk about this so that I can do videos. And I said, it doesn't have to be one or the other. She should build the library. If, she was asking me, which she wasn't, I just gave her some unsolicited advice, but build the library of videos now. Do it. Don't wait to get on podcast episodes to build your library of videos. Do it all now. And then when you create the opportunities for yourself because of your library of videos, then you go on the podcast too and tell people about your videos. But you can make your videos right now. You don't need to wait on anybody else inviting you to a podcast or for when that podcast is going to air. You have so much power in this moment to do things that in your brain are going to say, oh, well, I don't know if that's going to make a difference. I don't know if what I do is going to matter, if I'm going to be wasting my time, spinning my wheels, wasting my money, yada, yada, yada. Do the things, do anything that even slightly relates to and might give you more experience relating to whatever it is that you're trying to do, whatever your purpose is. So always, instead of staying stagnant, do something. Make a video if that's what it is. And it doesn't, of course, have to be surrounding PA. I mean, it can be, but maybe you want to get a new job. Well, you're telling yourself, well, I already made a resume. And so I've sent it out to everybody I can. And what else? I have nothing else to do except for wait on people to reply back to me. Did you make a LinkedIn? Are you making videos? Did you make a TikTok or an Instagram account solely for you getting a job? Provide value to the world is basically what I'm saying. Even if you're not ready to start the business, start providing value today for the business that you will create. Get the experience under your belt. Because trust me, the first few videos or the first few whatever it is that you do, however you're going to provide value to the world, they're going to suck. They're going to suck. They're going to suck bad. That's okay. You have to get them under your belt. So you may as well do it now while nobody's looking. And then you're an expert by the time it really, quote unquote, matters. You know what I'm saying? When people are looking, when you've built up your following or whatever it is that you're doing, not everybody is tasking themselves to create an audience, but you apply this to your own life. But you must have a purpose. You have to purpose your brain each morning that you wake up, because if not, you're going to have yourself on the defensive. I just need to get through today. I just need to make it through the next blah, blah, blah. And that, my friends, will keep you in the free state. Okay. So if you want to get out of that, you must put yourself on the offensive in your own life. You are the star of your own life. So instead of playing damage control, instead of looking at all the ways that everybody's against you, trust me, I'm not making fun of that. Like, I get it 100%, but you will feel like you will have so much more control and power over your own world when you sit in the director's seat. You're taking the steps, even if those steps don't, quote unquote, like they don't amount to anything. You're gaining the experience. You're learning what you like, what you don't like. Trial and error is everything. It doesn't all have to amount to the masterpiece in the end. All of the actions that you take along the way, there's where you find the joy. This is where you find the peace, is in the messiness of your life, of creating the flop videos, writing the terrible blog post, or whatever it is, The mistakes matter. You collect so much data. I talked about that a few weeks ago. But sitting around waiting, wanting to make it count, wanting to wait for the right opportunity, the right support, money, blah, 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 is a trap. It will keep you stuck, my friends. So the quickest way to get out of that stagnancy is to start acting. Do things that you haven't done before. Start asking yourself questions that create better feeling answers for you. So you must be willing to commit to yourself and commit to your own experience, the ride. And remember that when you're fearing anything that might happen, on the other side of the unknown, ask yourself, are you willing to forego the benefits of what you might get by following your ideas, your dreams, in order to stay in the stagnancy of today? So don't ever be afraid to commit to yourself. You're not shutting anybody out of your life, i.e. your kids. Creating a better life, a better foundation, working on you and adding to you can only create more space for you in your heart and in your life to welcome them even more. Yeah, don't be scared to do the things. Go do the things. Make the mistakes, fall down, get up, keep going. Don't let your fear of what they're going to do stop you. Of course, you want to be smart about what you're doing. I mean, don't go, doing anything that's going to jeopardize your relationship with your kid, but you have so many more moves to make than you might think that you do. But you're in it. You're so stuck with the blinders on in your own life sometimes that you don't see all of the possibilities, the opportunities that might be sitting right smack in front of your face. You just have to be willing to, like I said, hang off your bed upside down for a couple minutes and stand back up and see if you come up with different ideas. Seriously, just try silly, new, goofy things. Go sit in a coffee shop for a day as opposed to working from your home. Literally put yourself physically in different places throughout your day, throughout your week. Ask yourself better questions, high quality questions, different questions that lead you to better feeling answers. Okay? All right. That's all I have for you. Okay. Y'all have a wonderful week. Okay, bye.